Alright, so I've done the Jack Mason GMT review a little while back featuring this Miyota 9075 jump hour GMT movement. And finally we get a chance to see what Boldr has to offer with this same movement. So that's what we're going to do today on this episode of Average Joe Watch Reviews. So what do we have here? Well, we have a Sprite looking watch here that is very angular. That's one of the first things that I noticed. It looks like a stealth fighter jet, the way that it's just angled. And it's very just robust looking. And I think if you're looking for a bold styled watch, I think this is definitely going to be right up your alley. Now, the first thing that I did was I twisted the bezel, and I wanted to see, first off, what is the bezel action, and also, do they offer the bidirectional option? And they opted for the unidirectional, so it only goes one way. But we do get good action and no backplay whatsoever. So, be that as it may, I would have liked to have seen a bidirectional, but it's not the end of the world. Another thing that I think you're going to notice is the fact that it has a translucent dial. Check that out. So you can actually see through the dial. Very, very cool. And it just gives the dial some depth as opposed to an ordinary black dial. So I got to give them kudos on that. We get a very thick handset. Look at the minute hand and look at the hour hand. They both have this split down the middle, and they are full of superluminova. Now you get a gray minute hand and you get a black hour hand, and you get a a different color green than you do on the bezel. It's definitely a lighter green. And then you get the black second hand. Again, you get a little bit of that split, but it's not completely split on that. I want to call it a lollipop, but it's definitely some loom there as well. And then we get some Seiko-like markers at the 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions with the single teeth, almost like, I guess, Seiko Monster. I think that's a fair assessment. Inspired by, but definitely not copied. And let's move this hand out of the way and show you that we're getting 990 feet or 300 meters of water resistance. And this is indeed the Odyssey Freediver. Now, our GMT track is actually here. So you get the 24, 2, 4, 6, but you also get the bezel. So you can actually keep track of a couple time zones if you'd like to. Now, I said this is a jump hour GMT, and that is because this is a screw down crown, which, by the way, I love this crown. This is one of the most tactile crowns I've ever utilized, and it plays along with this whole kind of just almost military-esque type of watch. It's got that ruggedness to it. I just really appreciate this crown. It's very easy to operate. And so that's the neutral position once it pops out. And then we go to the first position. And that is our jump hour. And did you notice? That's also how you're going to set the date. And we get nice positive clicks with this movement. And check this out. Okay. So what you would do is, if you want to track another time zone, for instance, you're going to set your GMT hand. So let's just say it is indeed 1:30 and I want to track UK time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 5 hours. So I'm going to go 2:30, 3:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6:30. So I'm going to set this hand to 6:30 in GMT time is 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 1800 hours. So watch this green hand go over. And we're going to set it to 1800 hours. Just like that. Set it and forget it. Click this out. Go to the 1 o'clock. And just bring that to 1:30. So now we're tracking current time zone and UK time zone. Just like that. And that's how you do it. Winding the crown. Pretty quiet. A little bit grainy. But super smooth. It's a very impressive movement, I have to say. Screwing in the crown is very, very simple. Do get that Boldr logo on the crown itself. We flip the watch around and we get like a frosted glass appearance. Check that out. So instead of just getting like a mundane looking movement at best, you're going to get this frosted looking, just, I don't know, smoky, kind of tribal looking case back here. Looking pretty good. I do like that look. And we get a lot of detail here in regards to the water resistance, model number, automatic sapphire crystal, and the name Freediver. We do get the quick release, which is nice. Nice to get there. And I must say, it's just, it's a solid watch. It really is. And we'll take some measurements in 1 second. Take a look at these nicely brushed links. And it's just a standard 3-linker. Now, this is a milled clasp, typical butterfly, dual deployant, right? Or should I say dual push button, safety clasp. This here bothers me. Every time I look at it, it just looks like a big scratch. And I know it's their branding. I mean, here's another, it's kind of a crack in the Boldr, right? But it just, from an OCD standpoint, it just, every time I see it, it just looks out of place. Just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. We take a look here, we get plenty of micro adjusts. We get 2, 4, 6 micro adjusts, which is more than enough. And you're also getting screw links, all right? And it's great to have these screw links on one side because you just simply unscrew it with a screwdriver and it pops out. Or should I say, you just kind of take it out, as opposed to some systems where you have to have a screwdriver on each side and it's a real pain and people just go to the jeweler when you don't have to. This one here, anyone can do it. So kudos to Boldr for doing that. We get luminescence all around, super luminova on the bezel and also inside the dial. Give you guys a lume shot right here. Beautifully done. And also accuracy wise, this thing is running anywhere from 0 to +2 seconds, which is absolutely impressive. Let's take some measurements here before I let you guys go. And let's see if indeed we have some favorable measurements for your wrists. So I'm getting out the wrong tool, actually. I'm getting out the diamond selector. So I guess while we have this out, and guys, mind you, it's 11:30 at night here on a Saturday, so I guess I'm showing my tiredness here a little bit there, so my apologies, but we'll call this a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
All right, so let's check for some sapphire here. So we definitely have sapphire on there. This should be ceramic, and yes, it is. I'm going to assume, and I'm going to make a prediction that the back is sapphire as well. Boldr just gives me the impression that they don't cut any corners. So let's see. Yep, I'm absolutely correct. There you go. Not to say that even if they didn't have sapphire in the back, but I just had this impression that they did sapphire there. So. All right, so let's take a look here. We've got a 45. Got a 45 millimeter case, guys. This is a big eye here. This is a big watch. Make sure I got this correct here. Yeah, 45 millimeter case size. We're looking at a 14.4 in thickness. I'm going to measure this out to the crown because this is a big crown too. So this is definitely going to give you some girth. And we're looking at like a 40, almost like a 49 millimeter with that crown. Our lug to lug is right at like a 52.7. And this bracelet does look like it tapers. We're looking at a, let's see here. So it's a 22 millimeter lug width. All right. It does look like it has a bit of a taper. Not much. Oh, here we go. There we go. 19.8. So a little bit of a taper there. Not too bad. Diver extension? No diver extension. But then again, not a diver, even though it does have the diver depth. So let's take a look at this on the wrists. All right, so I always remind you guys that I have a 7-inch wrist just in case we got a new person, which statistically, I have more new people watching my videos than my subscribers, so I have to say it every time. I do have a 7-inch wrist, so we're going to take a look and see how it looks. And there it is, 45 millimeters on a 7-inch wrist. Doesn't look too bad though, right? It's not spilling over, and the reason why is because of their stubby lugs. So let's take a look again at the side profile to show you why this doesn't look as big on the wrist as it does on paper. So look at that. The way that they do the lugs, again, looks like a fighter plane, just all these different angles and the chamfered and everything. It's just really, really cool. Let me actually just polish this off just to kind of give you guys a accurate look there. We have some up and down brushing here, up and down this angle. We've got a polish there. That's a really cool angle right there, guys. And look at these. Look at this crown guards. They're actually not that large. I mean, the crown sticks out pretty good. So it's almost like, what's the use? But I guess it's more of a design cue than anything, because I mean, the crown is more than halfway sticking out still, but it's a screw down. So again, crown guards aren't really that necessary anyway. But yeah, that side profile shows you that, yeah, this is the reason why it's not sitting on the wrist or spilling over the wrist as one might think by looking at the stats on paper. So that's my 2 cents, guys. You can keep the change. And I want to thank Boldr for sending this in for review. I do have to return it. And I'll see you guys next time on Average Joe Watch Reviews. God bless, my friends.